Hey everybody, welcome to this Saturday's review with Darksiders Comics. We're going to do Kelly Jones's The Hammer, issue number 104 from Dark Horse, made by Kelly Jones. As you might know, I really am a big fan of Kelly Jones, and I stumbled this on by accident. I know this was, this is on for when was this comic is made? Let me double check. 1997. I knew it was produced, but I didn't know it was at that time by Kelly Jones, so I got it. Also got the mini series called The Outsider. So if this is good, we're gonna review this as well, also by Kelly Jones. So what is this? Well, that's a good question, but we're gonna find out in this review. So stick with me, and if you like what you see, subscribe. Like my video, leave a comment, all that jazz. On with the show. So we are going to 1997, to New Mexico, 1997 in Haiti, 1997 Hungary, and we go on and on. So what is happening? People experience different kind of visions, messages, maybe from their gods or whoever deity they believe in. So here, for instance, in Hungary, I have looked into the fire for 3 nights, and it's the same vision. What older is an evil older? What comes is an evil older than these mountains. No man's god, devil will stand against it. All things good and kind will wither, and blood will flow from every living thing. Okay, and then we feel a little bit the same here in New Jersey, although this is not with gods, but more these people in this observatory, that's how you say it, I guess. They analyze radiation that came from the Big Bang, and there's something off, there's something not correct, and they are afraid. And then we go to Rhode Island, also 1997. So these couple here coming to this empty house, and this, I believe these are hippies. Is this the place, Ricky? Yeah, they say the lady who lived here was a witch, and that the people locked her up in the attic while trying to figure out what to do with her. They decided to hang her, and when they came to get her, she was gone. They found some blood on the attic floor. So they tried to stay here and to do something. So this is the attic where they stuck her. England was the guys in charge. Then we were in America yet, about 30 or 40 years ago, I think. What was her name, Ricky? Isabel Grierson, the Witch of Aberdeen. She went from England to here, but they still got her. So they want to resurrect her or talk to her spirit. Yeah, I believe that's the one. So they have some, I don't know, stuff like mandrake or ginger root and a candle. And so this girl says, what if it really works, Ricky? Really? Then we ask her to make your dad die, Sherry, like we said. Okay. I got an annoying fly here flying around my head. Jesus, go away. So they are doing some stuff, and then there's blood leaking from the roof. And he says, look, Jesus, I did it. I made something happen. What did I do? And then we see something from the Hellraiser movie issue, volume number 1, the first movie, when there was a great, awful, gory scene that a body is reassembling itself, it's just great stuff. You need to watch it if you are into horror movies. So yeah, this is this is happening. So Isabel is here, and she says, thou hast given unto me life. And then this chick says, you got to do what we said, right? I mean, because we brought you back to life, right? Yeah, you got to kill my goddamn dad because we conjured you. And so Isabel says, the smell of your flesh intoxicates me, lass. For that I shall grant thy whim. And I hope your father's flesh is as sweet as thine. Now, lad, I would know thy wish. And he screams, and she does this fatality and rips her heart out. Pretty cool opening, right? But then we go to somewhere else in the present day to Highway 112 near the Massachusetts-Vermont border. I am not a topographic guy, so I have no idea where this is. But what I like about Kelly Jones's art is he can do horror very well. I believe he's one of these artists that has a knack for lighting gruesome images, like you've seen before here, and other unsettling stuff. That's why I like his stuff. He has a very particular art style that I, when I was younger, didn't appreciate, but now way too much. Anyway, so moving on. So we see these guys. Just where the hell does he live, Carl? My God, we've been in the hills for an hour. I'm getting car sick. Christ, what a whiner you are. Professor Wilcox said he lived off the main roads. You knew when we left it. It would take a while to get there. A man like the professor inviting two jerks like us to see him is major. There's a lot of people who would kill for this. So they're talking about a little bit more that he is he took courses in ancient Semitic languages. He was brilliant. He made everything seem so vital, so real. If I make it as an archaeologist, it'll be because of him. So this guy, he says, I'm just a medical intern. What does he want from me? Anyway, so they come to this eerie looking house. So they're going in and he says, you break it, you bought it. Oh, Carl, tell me he doesn't have a history of missing students. So yeah, so they look around and they see all this ancient stuff, which is pretty cool. And then, the main guy is coming in. I love the shadow and this lighting and all that stuff. So they talk about that the professor dropped off out of sight when he returned from Yugoslavia, etc. And there was some kind of an incident. And now, I don't know, this Norman Bates looking creepy dude that doesn't look like a serial killer at all, just standing in the front of the door with rain and lightning outside. Like I said, the atmosphere is so good. So he says, let me tell you how both thankful I am that you could make it here on such short notice. And he says, you see, in roughly 3 months, I'll be dead. Okay. That's not good at all. Meanwhile, we see Isabel now in present day in Chicago. I don't know, she does some kind of a therapy or something to people. And, but also she says, can you imagine, Eric, this is Eric, that you were seduced by a world famous psychotherapist who wants to eat you alive? Do you have any idea how much I love this century? Just think I could just pick up a young man and no one will brand me or put me in the stocks. I can cast my magic under the disguise of medicine helpful to millions, and through the evil thoughts of those unsuspecting multitudes construct a bridge between the base world and the plane of the great ones, then bring hell to earth. Isn't that lovely? And then she's eating, I don't know, his wiener or, disemboweling him. But this guy's gone. And she says, I feel something deep inside. So something is happening to her. And the long winging flight through the void can cross the universe of light. And I don't know, she's just seeing things and there's a voice called Isabel. And then, I don't know, she's using her powers to put in some kind of a superhero suit on, I guess. Cloaked in the power garb of this age, I will summon the shifter, the great Zahak, my lover. Yet. Now watch this. It is difficult to summon with this garment clung up between my legs. Next time I shall tell the elementals to let this be. I love it. So the spirits tell her, Isabel, Isabel, I see thee, my handsome ones. Come to me, lover. And all these demons talk to her. Isabel, thou hast done thy task well. Your brethren convey their gratitude. We wait on the other side. We can see the gate is opening. Prepare the way, Isabel. The great day is at hand, and soon we both may stride together amongst the writhing bodies. I love this image here, this negative space, and it looks so cool. For your silver tongue alone, I would rend the world. This is cool. This is really cool. It's pretty dark too. So going back to Massachusetts. So this guy asked the professor about what's happening, and that they are heard about some death cults. They worshiping death. So I mean, this the other guy says, "Hey, this bag moved. What's in it?" I will answer both of your question, of course, but please let me finish. As I was saying, no evidence existed of these cults until several years ago in the Yugoslavia. It was Dr. Feyer who, in his studies of the Austro-Gothic Empire, what a cool world, Austro-Gothic Empire. Is that real? I need to look that up. Found text referring to these cannibalistic cults. So, and he also says that they are finding evidence in the still remote Balkan ruins. It appears that some few of the Austro-Gothic people still worship the ancient gods, much to the dismay of the current rulers of the empire. For you see, the worship of these gods posited that human sacrifice and cannibalism led to contact with the gods. And see all these heads boiling. Color is great, by the way. It also believed that this cult copulated with the gods during evil rites, producing degenerate offspring. And then, so these empires are not liking that, and they are fighting those evil people, right? And the cult raged and began to threaten the fiber of the Austro-Gothic society. Around this time came forward a great warrior named Alaric Malleus, roughly translated, the Hammer. Isn't this looking fucking awesome, right? Look at this. Bulking, hulking man of a man. It's great. This Hammer was a powerful warrior as well as good as leader. He gathered many loyal followers. These led into many battles, and over the next 17 years nearly obliterated the bloody cult. Right? So eventually, he died, and then they're gonna do some grave digging because that's what they are, tomb raiders and all that stuff. And this professor is very excited to find this guy in this tomb. So he's going down, and so we see that see the skeleton of him. And so the other guy followed him too, that is talking. Yet I could not follow my curiosity. So I followed the doctor inside. There stood a crypt containing an armored skeleton, standing, mind you, for he could not be laid down. His helmet was oddly elongated, unlike any other of this period we had seen. So yeah, so you see this, right? And this very long helmets, all right? And I thought, yeah, maybe it's just pure aesthetic. Maybe the artist thought this was cool, right? No. So he says, excuse me, Professor, where is this all going? To the point, Carl. Now let me conclude. When Feyer removed the helmet, the skull was normal. We were confused. We saw no apparent deformities. Perhaps all the stories were just that stories. But rather than the helmet put heavier than it should, funny as it thought, sorry. But Feyer said that the helmet felt heavier than it should, funny, as though something was inside. So then this thing leaps forward and it eats his face, and then it's dissolved, which is awesomely cool. And this looks so cool, man. Look at this. It looks like a horror movie. Do you see I mean, I'm an old guy, but there's a horror movie called Scanners that people can use their, I don't know, mental powers or telepathic powers to explode other people's heads. It's just so good. And it's all, with practical effects and a lot of blood, it's just awesome. Check that out if you are into very old 80s horror movies. Anyway, moving on. He says, Professor, what's in the bag? The finger, of course. So the other one says, listen, Professor, I know that you must feel very responsible for Dr. Fay's death, but it seems just too far-fetched. I mean, I saw the manifest of the dig. There was no mention of any finds like what you two have described, just bits of rusting ornament and rotting clothing. In fact, in your deposition, you stated that the roof caved in, decapitating Fayer. If the creature you saw is in the bag, why didn't you write about it? Because it apologized, you see, for killing Dr. Feyer. I had to cover up the incident after it explains its actions. So it seems that he has some kind of a telepathic connection, and he needed to, this creature ate the face of Dr. Feyer because then he could absorb the knowledge and the language so that it's also for self-preservation, but then he also made contact with this doctor, or this Tomb Raider guy. And so he also says that he knew that he would not be the enemy. You see, Alaric Malleus was not deformed at all. It was this creature attached to his head, but hidden by the helmet. It was truly the hammer. It has destroyed blood cults. It went dormant with its human host death, knowing that one day it will be reawakened to battle against the great forces of evil. I love to make this exaggerating things. Listen, if I saw something like that crawling out of a bag, I would, get a blow charge, burning my whole house down, or I'd just drive in my car to the other side of the world and never be seen in again. So he says that evil is now trying to return. So he says, if I showed you the creature, would you believe me then? Sure. May I introduce you to the hammer? Is this for real? Of course it is. Now, Alex, I'll tell you why I requested your presence. The creature has detected a fatal cancer in my pancreas. I need your medical ability to attach this being to my head. Wait a minute. So this thing told you that you die? What if that is not the case, and that he is just luring you into believing in this? All right. Okay. I spent 5 years communing with it and verifying its information. Now I utterly believe everything it said. I also believe that this creature can save the world from the foulness that is coming. All right. So he's laying out the operation table, and he says, hey, what if you die? And then leave. No one needs to know of your involvement. Just take the thing with you. Anyway, so he only says then that later that this thing will control his body and also take over his mind. And my conscience will be replaced by it. But I do hope that something of myself remains. My love of poetry, baseball on Sunday evenings, Charlie Parker, and even cheeseburgers. So he's drilling a hole in his head. So this creature is now attached, but and he's, I don't know, it's just Frankenstein here. And he says, God, what have I done? Right? And then they are waiting and waiting. And also Isabel is here on the TV saying that he is feel healthier to act on your destructive feelings that hold on to him. I'm not saying hurt anyone. I'm saying get even, release the hate. But these guys have no clue, of course. And look at this, man. This panel alone, just so eerie and creepy. The world of all suddenly seems really strange, and it's closing in around me. So then they hear a crash, and then they go up with a broomstick. So the other one says, hey, a broom isn't going to do good against this thing. Well, what do we do then? Sing to it. We can call anyone. What would we say? We killed a professor and stuck an alien on his head? We have to find out what's happening to him. Wait, I hear something. So they open the door, and then, we have the hammer here, Malleus. Greetings, he says. The man you knew as Wilcox is gone. I am what you called the hammer. I have altered the body to suit my purposes. My needs will be many, and I shall require your service. I hope that all of us are up to the task. What task? To begin with, I desire a cheeseburger. In the bag. Yeah, this is great. This is great. I've listened. This comic is so old, and I'm glad that I have it. And this is cool. This parasite. Slurping somebody's brains out, taking over, and then become some kind of a hero. Although I would be very careful, for stucking something on my head like that. Anyway, I think this is a pretty cool comic. I love it. We're going to review all of them because I have all of them. So guys, stick around. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. And I see you, of course, next time. Bye-bye.